Hello, everybody. It's the astrology report here for the week of October 30th till November 5th of 2017. It's funny time. It's very, very funny time. Looks like Mercury is retrograde and a lot of the technology does not work. What is that causing it? What is this communication problem comes in? Mercury is in Scorpio. It's an underworld, and the things when they don't work or they don't serve your purpose anymore, all of a sudden the things start getting breaking away. And a lot of the energy was about these parts inside of us, the inner self-talk of about what we need to change, what we need to improve, what it needs to say, what it needs to be harsh in order changes to happen. And that part of harsh was kind of like increased simply because the Sun and Jupiter they're also on Scorpio. So this power of underworld that comes in, things that have been hidden inside of us, to come out on the surface, and we can break the old patterns and we can get better from those old patterns. We do stop hiding things inside of us and move on where we need to be. And this will continue for a long time. We're talking about Jupiter is going to be here for another 12 months, pretty much. And I will make some video about Jupiter on it. And also, I'm so excited. In 2 weeks from now, I'm going to be in UK, and I'm so pumped up, fired up, and excited for the UK. I always wanted to go there, and I believe that the workshop that's going to be at the Twin Flames there is going to be actually very good for the people, because there is some new things that happen inside that I'm going to bring into UK. Those are the new things after the Boston event, which is it's about the detachment, and there's going to be some lot of new things out of the UK. So if you can be able to come to the UK on the event, that will be very good for you. But we're talking about astrology report right now here. What's going on? We have the moon here on the past few days. The moon that was in Aquarius, and if you're born with the moon in Aquarius, like I do, then you are forced to do rebel things. You are forced to do the things that breaking all patterns, breaking rules. Rules of what? Who determine the rules? And this is the power of Aquarius, that it's gonna come up, and we preparing ourselves to breaking the rules, to breaking these situations, because in 4 years from now, Jupiter is gonna come into Aquarius, and within 4 years, we're gonna learn how to remove the things that we are hiding secret inside of us. We're going to move, when Jupiter moves in Sagittarius, we're going to move into express ourselves, and then we're going to learn when it's retrograde to express the hidden self on ourselves. Then we're going to perform what we learn. And when we came here, then we're going to be really breaking the paths of everything that needs to be done. But that is coming up within the 4 years. And the moon, when it comes in, it's going to trigger all the time that preparation that it's going to coming up. So Monday, we're talking about October 30th. Monday, the moon is going to be crossing into Pisces, and that trine within emotions is going to be very good. Emotional day that we're going to be get on with our emotions. We're going to be feeling good of what we do. But in a spirituality way, we got to be very careful how we acting against the universe. And we're going to have Venus is approaching that opposition with Uranus, which is mean the love that it's actually exists inside of us. It's gonna be acting against the universe. But since we know that the universe is very powerful, we're going to get that connection in soul through Saturn. I talked about this before. That also happened before, when the sun came in, when the Mercury came in, when the moon came in, when Jupiter came in through here. That was the same trine sextile connection, which is L. And now Venus is gonna be experience this. And later on, we're gonna focus at when the Mars is gonna face this part. So Monday we're gonna feel this tensions of it, and that is gonna be the tensions of the physical part, of the ego part of love, that's gonna face the universe, and the universe is gonna say, "Don't look it up about the physical part. Go fix yourself through your learning. Is that a good for your soul? Is the right actions that you have to do?" Because whatever you do as actions, they're not going to be working. It doesn't matter what you're trying to do. And the moon, when it's here, it's going to face those emotions of growth, but at the same time, it's going to facing this learning curve of transformations through our talk, through Mercury, who is in Scorpio, to tell you what it's the things that you need to transform inside yourself. So that is about Monday. On Tuesday, the moon is going to be moving up, and this time the moon is going to activate this trine with Mercury, and Mercury is going to be in sextile with Pluto, and at the same time that sextile is going to be with the moon. On this type of T-trine, okay, we're going to experience a day that we are willing to transform for good. Transformation that's coming deep from our spirituality, so we can actually look at it, what's the things that we need to remove from our lives, to our inner talk to ourselves, Mercury and Scorpio, so we can transform and perform better into the material world, which is Pluto, and it's in Capricorn, so we can provide better service not only for ourselves but also to others. But that service, by the way, it's gonna begin to be very, very crucial with that squaring with Venus, because Venus wants its physical love compared to the soul wants the love that is from the universe. And a lot of the people, we have this conflict with this physical love, of this physical part of it, and the moon will be trigger these parts, simply because the moon is in a sextile with Pluto, but Pluto is squaring Venus, and the emotions of Venus is gonna be very shaked up, because that's gonna be probably the time when the Venus, the female part inside of you, is gonna be very aggravated. So you gotta be very careful how you're handling your emotions, Monday, Tuesday, and so on. So that's for Tuesday. Wednesday, the moon is going to become and move right now in Aries. That's going to be the new beginning of a lot of the people. But how you see the new beginning, it's going to be comforting Mars. It's going to be actually opposing the warrior inside of you that it's in a relationship. And now the warrior, the person inside of you, the fighter inside of you, has to face his ego emotions with his love emotions about partnership, about relationships. And that is the part that this is in the cardinal signs. Okay, this is a I am with others opposition. And what is more important to you? And the warrior is going to face these emotions of it. During this period, when the moon is going to be moving into Aries, we're going to see that in the next day, actually, the moon is going to be trigger Venus. And the more is going to be triggered in Venus, there's going to be this T-square. So the Venus is, again, that female part inside of you is going to be really triggered. And the only thing that can save you, that was going to be the emotions through Saturn. life is going to teach you what to appreciate. Some of the females, they're going to be aggravated on their partners or the way they're living their life. But the life is going to tell you, relax. Everything is for good. You have to listen to your soul. And that's going to be the only piece that's going to be available for Venus to find her own peace. Simply to stop the resistance and start learning whatever Saturn is teaching Venus when it was in retrograde. And that is those expressions that comes in, because finally Venus has to express herself in Sagittarius in somehow, some way, to express that love so the universe can get the message of it without removing the limitations, without remove this part of whatever limitations in your personalities are. And those triggers will come in throughout the week. So we'll keep it on going, and we're going to be preparing again for this massive opposition that's going to come into it, because when the moon moves right here and preparing for the full moon in Taurus, we are going to be able to see this power how it's going to trigger pretty much everything. The moon is going to trigger Venus, Jupiter is going to trigger the sun and Scorpio. And since that transition is going to be the material part, the hanging on into the material part, which is the moon in Taurus, or actually the full moon in Taurus, and the next day will shift, there's going to be a triggers. How you handling your affairs of your growth into the material world, facing of what you need to remove from the material world so your soul to be okay. To remind you, Scorpio, it's not only the places for the underworld. Scorpio is the one who controls others' money. Compared to Taurus, Taurus is the one that helps you to develop yourself in the physical, in the material world, and to control your own money compared to a Scorpio. And you're going to be learning that lesson that sometimes life is going to teach you to go ahead and transform. Not everything is about the material possessions. Not everything is about in the material world. It is about your happiness. And this is the part when Jupiter actually is going to step up as a Scorpio and try to remove this material part out of you. And that's what's going to happen in the next 12 months. I will make a video specifically about Jupiter. Hopefully it's going to be tonight. It's a lot of work that I need to do, but I hope I'm going to be getting it. If you see a Jupiter report, then I will suggest you to go ahead and watch it, because it's going to be a very important part of Jupiter, what's going to do with us. And here is, we are going to be on Saturday. We're going to feel the power of the full moon. And the full moon is going to facing, of course, the sun of it. But we're going to have this part right here that is going to provide understanding in the soul, understanding for transformation, understanding in the soul, and blessing the transformations of what doesn't serve purpose to basically remove, dissolve, and die. To get these transformations again, to accepting it, and this stand against the sun, it's going to be happen because that opposition will tell you it's not going to work the way you're going to. Don't try to fight. If you have to fight the Taurus and the Scorpio, Scorpio will always win, because with one bite the Scorpio actually can kill the Taurus. And this is the part that right now those two, they have to understand. Instead of killing each other, you have to cooperate to each other. And that is the part that comes in through this transformation process that comes up. And this transformation is be very powerful on Saturday. People are going to be looking at for this change, because you can't just do the same thing over and over that we're looking at the oppositions here with Venus in order you to move. You have to do something different. You have to do some changes. And that is the part when Venus is in 26 degrees, Uranus is in 25. So that moment right there, it's going to be crucial for Venus to go ahead and change its positions of it. So in order to listen the teacher, and she transform with the blessing from the universe. And on Sunday, the moon's gonna facing completely Mercury, and Mercury is gonna be in the last degree of Scorpio, and that part of Gemini, Scorpio, that part is gonna be very crucial to you to go ahead to the inner talk right here. You to understand that you need to stop your duality and make a concrete decisions of what you need to do. And if you look at it here though, the moon is going to trigger the warrior to change. The warrior to finally understand that whatever the warrior was fighting, it is about the family part, the partnership, the relationship to be. And again, Venus is still going to be feeling these pressures from the universe to go ahead, change, accept. Don't worry about the outcome. I got you. Don't fight me. Don't go against me. And there is going to be a lot of surrendering going on in here during this oppositions of it. Because when a Venus move into Scorpio, the Venus is finally going to fall into the darkness. But when a Venus is inside of Scorpio, we're going to be watching this transition. The Venus is actually like the angel go down into hell and brings the light. It's the lowest point of Venus in the whole zodiac signs. Scorpio, it's her lowest point into the material world, but it's the highest point of Venus in the esoteric world. That is the part when the love comes in, it shines, bring the light insight into the darkness. And we're going to be watching these transitions and how these oppositions from Uranus is how this part through Saturn, it's going to actually affecting the changes within people and in the feminine side of the people. So that's going to be that preparations begin into it. And that is your astrology report for the week. I hope you like it. I will look forward to your comments. You know it. Be love.